What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another Detroit Pistons basketball podcast. Totally out of context with your main host, Mike, and my co-host and partner in crime, Elda. And we got a few guests with us. We got Teron, we got James, we got Paul, and we got Ernest. We got a full crowd, and we are just getting back from a post game of the Pistons whooping on the Cavaliers tonight. We have a few thoughts about the game and how the direction of the team is going, especially after the last two losses with the Pelicans, who used to be the New Orleans Hornets, or whatever, and who was our last loss? Washington. So we're coming back from the All-Star break 1-2. What do you think, Elda?
I feel good. Like we shared a little bit earlier, and I'll keep it quick. I think the energy was high. I would say this is the best full game I've ever seen from Reggie Jackson on both sides of the ball. He wasn't lacking on defense. And I don't know if it was just his machismo kicked in. He was tired of me talking about him on the group or whatever it is. Ernest went back and told him I was telling him, talking about him. I don't know what happened, but I love what I've seen from him this game. If he continues this, I believe that we'll make a serious run, a serious playoff push.
Off of this just one game, you feel like that?
I feel like off of this one game, we can hear from the other guys on the line, but yeah, I feel like this one game, first of all, I don't think we played bad against the Pelicans. I just think Anthony Davis was amazing. He was supernatural, amazing. Then I just think came back tonight, and we never went back-to-backs. And for us to kind of pull out this back-to-back the way we did, we was always in control of the game. We was never not in control of the game. We was always in control of the game. And I just felt like it was because of maximum effort. And we held a team to under 90 points. I don't know the last time we've done it. I'm trying to look it up now. But what do you guys think? Let's go around. Go ahead, Mike. Go ahead. Let's facilitate.
Yeah, we'll go around with everybody who has less time, so you guys can get what you need to get. Yeah. So I think Toronto, you only got 14 minutes. Go ahead, man. What do you think of the game tonight?
I think from what I saw, I'm gonna go back and watch it live. But I was at work for most of the game, but I was listening to it on the radio and stuff. But overall, man, I think they came out with effort. Now we came out with at least half that effort against sub 500 teams, then we can make a big ass run. At least we can win the next 5 out of 6. And I actually believe that we have to come up with that effort every night. And I think inserting Tobias Harris, we had no choice. In the lineup tonight really made a big difference because he actually can stretch the floor, shoot the three, come in and shoot that 16-footer. Our whole defense came out and played tonight, man. And that's something I really like. But one thing about it, man, seeing Tolliver out for the next 3 to 4 weeks, I will try to make a run for you guys may sue me for this or put it on Facebook, but I really think, man, we need to go after Andre Bargnani and let him stretch the floor a little bit, man. We need to get somebody in there that can play a little defense and can shoot that ball, man. And I think the Demo trade that was pretty good, but we need somebody that's gonna come in and play, man. Honestly, and I think he could be the one. Honestly.
What you think, Paul?
Yeah, I agree 100%. Like SPG said though, this was the best that they felt on the floor in a really long time. Like you said, that's the best they felt as a unit. Confidence-wise. So I think this game alone is a huge, huge turning point in the season, and it's a huge confidence booster for this team. And it's if we could play, 75% of this, against sub-500 teams, we should definitely make the playoffs. We've got to come out with the same energy, and, I think we'll be good.
What do you have, Ernest?
Yeah, I feel if we come out with the same effort, especially on defense, we can play against anybody. Especially offense will come. It's just defense. The defense they showed tonight, it was off the chain. especially collapsing on LeBron when he drive to the paint, hands up. Dre didn't get too many fouls. That's good. But overall, it's just the effort, especially like I said on defense. If they come up, because the offense will come. They come along on defense, we can win pretty much anybody. Anybody. But it was good overall. Reggie made some good decisions. Mid-third quarter, in the third quarter, he started screwing up a little bit on it because he probably was tired.
Yeah, he was tired.
They were real windy. So they stayed in pretty much the whole third quarter. And it was showing. No shots dropping, all of it. But overall, it was good to win.
And Jerry made more than 50% of the free throws, y'all.
That's what I'm saying. That's what we need. And you know, I'm always calling Andre lazy as hell, but he played with energy tonight. You got to give it to him.
What do you think, James?
I think the one thing that everybody brought it up already, effort. Everybody mentioned it. That's the key. The one key in basketball is effort, as well as consistency. Do we have to play with complete consistency all the time? No, absolutely not. You're never going to get it in sports. But if we can be, say, 75% consistent with 75% effort, we're going to win games. I think this is a season-defining game. This game was, I was explaining it to a couple of the guys before. This game was either going to hurt us after the Pelicans lost or it's going to help us after the Pelicans lost. And I believe we're going to go on a serious 5, 6, maybe 7-game run here and win some games and propel ourselves farther up into the playoff picture.
Yeah, I agree with that.
I mean, I like the fact that we went small ball a little bit. It definitely brought more athleticism on the floor, that is for sure. And it kind of gave us that Orlando Magic feel with Vince Carter and Rashad Lewis and J.J. Redick. I'm not comparing any of these guys to those players at all, but it kind of had that old Orlando Magic feel to it. I don't know about what you guys thought.
I think me and Mike talked about, and Ernest, did you watch the game? Did you watch the game?
Yeah, I watched the whole game,
Yeah, do you feel like, and I know you know basketball really well, and I was trying to pick it up. Do you feel like they went to a 2-3 zone defense? It looked like, yeah, and I felt like that. I really think it helped everybody. The dribble penetration wasn't crazy. Kyrie is tough to guard anyway, but the dribble penetration wasn't crazy. It allowed them to collapse on LeBron. When LeBron was trying to even push in, Drummond wasn't crashing the offensive boards as far as he usually does. So, when the shot went up, he was already leaking back to get back on defense. So, I think it killed a lot of easy transition baskets off of Mitch. I think there's something, somebody had said that Drummond rebounds, his offensive rebounds, not saying he's not crashing the board. I actually think it's a defensive strategy so that if Drummond crashes, then it leaves these odd little fast breaks for the opposing team. But I felt like this game, it was actually done perfect. That 2-3 zone feel. I'm not saying they went all out 2-3 zone, but it was that 2-3 zone defense mixed with the effort. And I can't just, it's not just by playing 2-3 zone and not effort. You still got to rotate. You still got to put a hand in people's faces. But even when I know you didn't see the game, Mike, but you've seen it before. When Reggie switched on LeBron, he was in LeBron's chest. He was up in LeBron. You know what I mean? And he was really he made LeBron shoot a few jumpers. I was thinking LeBron gonna really, really back him down, but sometimes short players with that low center of gravity that's really can get up under a player. And I really feel like he really tested LeBron, and LeBron gave up on some shots. But is it true that Reggie's asthmatic? Is Reggie asthmatic?
I have no idea. I haven't heard anything.
Yeah, somebody said that during the telecast. I mean, I'm watching it online, so I have to listen to the Cavs people said, but they said something Reggie asthmatic. I've never heard that, but he was sweating and breathing hard. And the last game, he was like that too. They had to pull him out the game. I think that Reggie, I don't know. I've never heard it, but I've seen this one. But either way, man, he played You know, Mike, if I'm saying that Reggie played hard on defense, Reggie had to play hard on defense. And he was like, he was in it. Like, yeah, he was in it. And I was just I was so happy for him, man. I really was.
Now, do you feel that he was really in it just because of the defense that they were playing, that they were not playing man-to-man tonight? Or do you feel like he was in it because they were playing a defense that really fit his kind of attributes, because he kind of struggles with point guards one-on-one type of deal? So,
what you think, Ernest?
Yeah, we'll go to the Reggie guy.
Say it again. I barely heard. Say it again.
No, I was saying, why do you think Reggie was so effective on defense? The fact that he hasn't been really that great of a defensive player. Is it because we played zone tonight that really kind of helped him out and the kind of attributes that he has, as opposed to, you know, playing man to man, what we're usually playing and where he usually struggles? What do you think?
I think they had a sense of urgency. I think all of them felt that we really needed to win. So and it showed from the beginning. How they were hustling all over the place. It showed. So they felt it. And they really wanted to win. And of course we needed it. So and the zone helped them out a little. Huh? Yeah. Zone helped them out a little, but like I said, it was a win, man. I tell you. What do you think?
James?
Yes.
How you felt? Do you feel like the zone defense helped out?
Yeah, I will agree with that, because let's face it, Reggie Jackson, he doesn't have the quickest feet, so against quicker point guards like a Kyrie Irving, he's going to get left standing in his shoes, but he does have quick hands and he does have long arms. Mm-hmm. So when you put him in a 2-3 zone, he's got longer arms than most point guards do in the league, so he kind of plugs the passing lanes, and that's what the 2-3 zone does. It takes away your driving lanes as well as it takes away some of your passing lanes.
I think that it allowed, and I'm saying for everybody, first, I think I'm gonna start from the top to the point and then kind of go down to Drummond. I think from a point guard perspective, it gave Reggie that security of knowing that he has help defense. Like, he has strong help defense. And it's not just Drummond that was rotating over to help. Like, if somebody was rotating, it could be Morris that was coming over, or it could be Hope, or it would be Harris. It's like trying to help to know it's not one person. Then I'll go straight to Drummond. I think it's made Drummond feel safer, because Drummond has been getting really exposed off of dribble penetration, and him coming over rotating hard, and then they kick it to the big. And that only happened, well, in the second half, only seen it happen one time. Kyrie was coming down off the baseline a little. Drummond came over to help, Timothy Mozgov did a real hard cut, and then Witherspoon put a really, really good pass in hand, and he dunked it. But I didn't see it like that all game long, like dribble, penetrate, rotate over, and easy bucket. So I think that overall it was just like a really good feel to the defense. And I would like to see how it goes forward. I would like to see what happens if teams start to adjust, because you can adjust to the 2-3 zone. And how you adjust to the 2-3 zone is you bring out more of your shooters, you spread the floor, and you end up with more jump shots in those little spaces. But I feel like it'll be interesting to see what happens. I think athletic guards can make the 2-3 zone very special. And I think Reggie is an athletic guard, and Pope is an athletic guard. And they can make the 2-3 zone defense very special. It's going to take a lot of energy, because there's a lot of running, but it can really help them, you know. But it will take a lot of energy out of them, though.
Yeah.
I wish you could have caught the game, Mike. I wish you could have caught the game. I really do.
Yo, I think a lineup we need to start using.
I was busy tonight. Some stuff.
Yeah. Blake at the one.
What was that?
No, I said I think a lineup we need to start using more with Blake at the one and Reggie at the two. And so forth.
It's not going to happen, man.
Well,
I wish it would happen. If it was going to happen, it would have happened with
Jennings.
Jennings. I just don't think it's going to happen.
Yeah, I think.
It was. Yeah.
I'm with Elda on this one. Like, if it would have happened, it would have happened with Jennings. Why not have your two best guards on your team? Sharing time at point guard, shooting guard. Like I don't know. It
would take something drastic to happen.
Yeah, it had to be something drastic. The thing about though is that Stan Van Gundy's super stubborn, man. So he has his heart set on Reggie Jackson being the point guard of this team, and I don't see it happening. Plus we don't really have another backup point guard. It's really just Blake and Reggie right now. So you play Blake and Reggie. I mean, who's going to come in to relieve them? So you got to have one on the bench.
Hey, honestly, I think Stan Van Gundy's gonna make a move pretty soon, as far as picking someone up in free agency. Just on signing them and see what they can do to help the team. I mean, we got a lot of injuries right now. That would probably be best for us to do, like go out and get a forward or something there and fill it up, man. That's just my opinion. But
I could see us picking up Bargnani. I'm not a.
Is Bargnani? He's not with anybody right now.
I think he just got cut. He just got cut.
Oh, really?
Yep.
Yeah.
Wow.
We can use them.
Yeah, we definitely could. But go ahead, James. James, you had something to say?
What is it with Bargnani and you guys? I don't like him at all. I never liked him in Toronto. I didn't like him in New York and either New York team. I understand he's a stretch four and he's a 7-footer, but I think his shooting has dropped off drastically from when he first came into the league. And let's face it. I mean, we don't have the greatest shooters as is. But I don't think that Bargnani is the answer. I mean, I think he could help, but I don't think he's the answer.
Well, I would say I didn't know he was a free agent and that he was released. So I thank you guys for sharing that with me because that skipped past my radar. I would say Bargnani is freed up, and we have an opportunity to pick him up now. He is a defensive liability, but I don't believe he's any more of a defensive liability than Tulliver was. Like Tulliver made the maximum effort, but he got exposed a lot. And with Bargnani is a spot-up, knockdown shooter, and if you can get that to come in off your bench for about 15 minutes, I would definitely. I mean, he's not going to move into the starting lineup, so his role would be coming off the bench with the second unit, with Baines being at center, and then Bargnani being the stretch four, standing around the 3-point line. And I think he just becomes another weapon that we currently won't have. Like even if I had to choose between Tulliver and Bargnani, I'm taking Bargnani over Tulliver because he just has more impact. You will get more hot games from Bargnani than you're going to get from Tulliver. Like if you just say, I'm going to give, we're going to bring Tulliver off the bench. You give him 5 attempts from the 3-point line. Bargnani is going to be the hot shooter. Now, like I said, when it comes to defense, that's a whole nother ball game. But a 2-3 zone defense can help cover a guy like Bargnani. So if he if he can go anywhere he want to go, I'm not sure we can pick him up off of waivers first, but we don't. But you get his salary too, so I don't know how much money he has left on his salary. But if he clears waivers, he goes to where he want to go. So that's the other part. So we would have to pick him up and take on his salary. So
what if we gave him a 10?
So we couldn't hear. What I was going to say was with Bargnani as well.
Talking to you, Mike, a little bit. Mike, talking to you. Can't hear you.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, a little bit better.
Okay. What I was going to say was the deal with Bargnani, though, picking up a guy like him, is that it was kind of referenced that we already have shooters. The problem is we really don't have shooters right now. We don't have anybody. We don't have nobody that can shoot the basketball right now. We just traded away our best shooter, or actually our 2 best shooters, in Brandon Jennings and Ilyasova. So they're no longer on the team. The only other shooter that we got is Anthony Tulliver, and he's out for 2 to 4 weeks. And then God, who else? Who else? That's it. And Meeks has been gone for the whole season, so we don't have any shooters. So picking up a guy like Bargnani is a good investment for the time being. And no one's asking him to play starting power forward or center or anything like that. We just need a guy off the bench that can knock down a three or two. That, and I haven't looked at his career stats, so I'm not sure if his shooting has dipped from year to year, but we just need a guy that can hit that three ball at like 35%. You know what I mean? That's a good clip for a guy that coming off the bench, and I'm pretty sure Bargnani can get that 35-36% shooting down. Anything lower than that, I don't think it'd be worth it. But I think that he can shoot at that mark. What else was I going to say about Bargnani? That, and he just kind of seems like a Stan Van Gundy guy. Euro player, 7-footer, and can shoot three. That's something that Stan likes. So I wouldn't be surprised if he went after him. That's kind of my.
Well, let me throw this in there real quick, Mike. I'm just looking at it. This year he's been real bad at 3-point shooter, but he's barely shot them. Like his average attempts is 0.3, not 3 attempts, 0.3 attempts is his average this year. But last year, which I think is a little bit more realistic to what he would offer, he shot about 36 to 37% for three, and that was like
That's
but
good.
this year, he was at like 18%. But once again, he only played like 14 minutes a game, and he only averaged 0.3 attempts. So that's like
3 attempts.
less than half of an attempt a game, you know.
So
So
how many games did he play this year?
he played 46 games, but he only averaged like 14 minutes.
So if he only averaged 14 minutes, that means he's like literally maybe shooting a 1-3 every 3 games. That's what it sounds
And he shot 45% from the field. Like, he averaged 6 attempts or 45% from the field, but for 3-point attempts, he only averaged 0.3. So he wasn't shooting threes and shit. And I don't know if that's by design. I don't know what they were doing with him. But last year, you know, he's a guy who can shoot the three. His numbers were kind of sporadic, just like James said. Like, you know, the year before last year, he shot 29% for threes. 28. So he's sporadic, but I think to get a guy for the next, 25 games now, to pull him over for the next 25, put him on your bench. I don't know what his contract is. That's the part. Like, I don't know how much money he's earning. But if you pick him up if we claim him off of waivers, we gotta take that contract. And I don't know how that fits into some other dimension. So
my thing is that 36% that he shoots would put him pretty much higher than anybody else that shoots on our team, I believe. I don't think Tolliver shoots that high. I think he's like at 34 or 35%. And then maybe Reggie at 34 or 35, but I think that
Reggie's actually at 37% this year.
Is he really, man? Dang, he's
been doing the thing.
Yeah, he's been lighting it up this year from three. I'm kind of impressed. That's the one thing I am impressed about Reggie this year, is that he's extended that range. So that's impressive. That's impressive to me. But other than that, man, no one else shoots the ball. Like I know Caldwell Pope's in the low 30s, so he's not a really good shooter. And everybody else is kind of like actually right where Pope's at. So picking up a 3-point shooter that's like at 36%, that would be solid. That'd be a solid acquisition.
Yadi's contract is only, if I'm looking at this right, his contract is only $1.3 million this year and $1.5 million next year. That's a bargain, man. I would claim him. You know what I mean? But was he healthy when they released him? Was he healthy?
I don't think so. He's been battling injuries for a while.
See, and that would be the part.
He was healthy, but they just didn't want to. He wasn't effective. That was the thing. He was healthy. He was playing, but
we haven't came all the way back.
There may have been a salary issue as well.
Yeah, but $1.5 million. If not, now that's what I'm saying. I would pick that contract up. Like 1.3 this year, 1.5 next year. Like, you don't lose anything with that, you know? So if he comes in, like...
About it. Brooklyn is trying to rebuild, too, so They trying to save as much money as they can too. You know.
Yeah, so but I was saying I would take that contract. Like if we're interested, I would take that contract on. I mean, that's nothing. You know, I would take a 1.3 million. I was thinking. You remember when he was earning like that big check? I was thinking like it was like 10 million or 9 million. Then I'd be like, nah. But if he's 1.3, yeah.
I think when he got traded to New York, I think Toronto ate up a bunch of his salary. I think that's why his contract got cut.
Yeah, but he's a bargain. I'm glad you guys brought that to my attention because I definitely went right under my radar. He's a bargain, man. And we can pick him up, I'll feel very comfortable with, especially with us not doing that one trade for Dante. Yeah, I'm glad we can address that. I'm happy that trade did not go through. I know some people's like, we need the shooters. We would have got Marcus Thornton. I value first-round draft picks. I just do. I know they can do for us in the long term. I know how they can help out. I know if you really scout people, we need shooters, and you can get like a fourth-year shooter mid-draft who nobody else wants because everybody's saying he doesn't have potential to be a superstar. But you get this solid guy like who can come in and be that shooter, or you can trade that pick to Chicago Bulls, and they may give up on what's the kid name? McDermott. Let's just say, hey Chicago, we'll give you our pick for McDermott, and McDermott could come in and be lights out for our team. I just think that first round picks need to be a little bit more well thought about. But so I'm very happy. Maybe Stan made I know he was interested in Montezumas for the summer, and maybe you're thinking, well, let's just get a jump on him. I'll lock him in now. But I'm glad it didn't go through, and especially with the injury, because last thing you need to pick up a guy, next thing you know, he'd be sitting out for the next few seasons, Jody Meek style, So I'm glad it didn't go through, and it kind of forces this team to gel together without having to add other elements, which causes also a longer time for them to gel and kind of really, really connect the way we need them to connect. So I was really happy. I was personally very happy it didn't happen.
Hey, yo, so what's the news on Meeks? Jody Meeks, what's the news on him?
Another couple weeks, I think.
Last I heard, he was supposed to be out till mid-March.
Oh, okay.
Fellas, I think Jordan Meeks is done. Like, I think even if he comes back at the end of March, that's that whole get your body back in shape. That's getting back in the flow of the team. That's finally yourself back in time for the rotation. At the best we could hope for is that if Jordan Meeks came back in March, that he would be ready for a playoff run where he could be added. He could probably do something in the playoffs. Depending on that, but I'm not banking on him to really help us get to the playoffs. I will bank on once he's there, he could be like a weapon off the bench to kind of help propel us in the playoffs, but not a force that's going to get us there. Like we see this team right here, minus that if we do add a Bargnani, this team right here is the team that's going to get us. And I'm going to say tonight, I saw the athleticism. I saw the athleticism. I saw the effort. I saw the versatility. They didn't run. Another thing they didn't run, it was very different. Just stuff I picked up on. They didn't run Drummond the high screen and roll. They were using different players. They was doing it with Tobias Harris, and he would pick and pop. They would run it with Morris. He would pick and pop. They even did it with Stanley. He would pick and pop. Like, they wasn't just doing the same predictable things. And also, even though Drummond didn't have a lot of shot attempts, he didn't register a lot of shot attempts. Drummond was going to the free throw line, like, off of shot attempts. Like, he was getting shot attempts, but, he was getting fouled. And he made 18 or 14. So I felt like they made an effort to include Drummond into the offense. Like, there was a concerted effort to get Drummond his touches. He only had 8 shot attempts, but a lot of those free throws wasn't like, they wasn't doing hacker Drummond. If they did it, I think they did it like once or twice maybe, but I think they only did it, but it wasn't like intentional. But it was like a lot of Drummond was backing down in the post, and they would, he would get a shot up, they would foul him. Or Drummond cut into the basket, they would foul him, and I think the intention was to get Drummond involved. It did. And I think overall it paid off for the whole team to kind of go inside, outside. And then, of course, it never hurt in the first half. KCP was like 6 for 6 and had 15 points, so that didn't hurt either. So I just felt like tonight was just a great maximum effort game that tells them, like, if you play hard, like Reggie, if you play hard, Drummond, if you play hard, if you trust this system, we'll be okay. And I think we've seen the effects of it. And we beat a good Cleveland team. Cleveland's been on a tear. So we beat a good Cleveland team. They can't even use that back-to-back stuff because they beat OKC by the third quarter. Their starters was like resting in the whole fourth quarter. So they can't, and then they was playing at home. So they can't really say, oh, Cleveland played back-to-back. So it was a really, really good win. It was a really, really good win. It's a confident builder.
Yeah.
I totally agree. Like I said before, this is a season-defining victory, especially after the loss that we took. This loss is either going to project us or it's going to hinder us. And as of right now, it looks like it's going to project us. I don't think, and I'm pretty sure nobody liked the fact that they got punched in the mouth by Anthony Davis. I mean, I would not like it one bit. And I think they're going to go, like I said earlier, on a run here of 6 or 7 games where they're going to be very good and they're going to be winning some games here.
Some I noticed during the game, when they made the switch, put Morris on Love, made the shot difficult. It was hard for him to get even close. Because in the beginning, he was kind of starting working, what's his name, Harris, for a couple baskets in the middle and got a foul on him. When he picked it up, it was harder for him. So if we can get Morris to play a little more, he always play good defense. But if he get a couple shots, if he gets started early, that's one thing about him. If he gets started early, he pretty much gonna finish good.
You still with us, Mike? Okay. Mike might be gone. All right, fellas, this is what I want to do. I want to get, just so we don't, prolong it, I want to do this. Get your feedback for the next 3 games. Do you think we're going to go ahead and sweep them, get the next 3, or what do you think our record will look like in the next 3 games?
Who we have? Sixers.
We have Sixers, Bucks, and it's a good team. It's like Sixers, Bucks, and a good team.
Toronto.
So let's start with
Who's the Toronto game?
Who's that? Who said we'll lose the Toronto game?
Toronto.
Toronto. What's your prediction? That's it? 2-1?
I say 2-1, man. That's a good shot, man. We lose a good hard game against Toronto. We play much better than the last 2 games against them.
Okay, cool. James?
I'm going to go out on a limb here, and because it's at home, I'm going to say we go 3-0.
Okay.
I agree with him, too. We at home with Toronto, 3-0. I agree with him.
I mean, that's our last home game until the 6th of March, because I apologize. We got the 76ers at home, then we got the Raptors, and then we got the Trailblazers. But we also got the Spurs and Bucks on the road.
My bad. I had you guys on mute. What I was going to say is for the 3-game home stretch, I believe I picked what did I say last night? Although, did I say I don't think I made a prediction about this last night. I think I just said we'd lose to the Cavs today, and then I said I'd see how everything turned out. Given that we won against the Cavs, I like the momentum. Who's the next one up? Milwaukee or the Sixers?
We have the Sixers, Milwaukee, and then Toronto. Okay.
You know what? I'm gonna say we're gonna drop one of them. Not Toronto. I think we're actually gonna beat Toronto. I think we're going to either drop one to the Sixers or to Milwaukee. I don't like the way we play down to teams. We played down to the Sixers the last time we played them, and actually Reggie dug us out of that one. in the final minutes of that game. And that's a bad Sixers team. So I don't know. I think we actually drop one to the Milwaukee or Philadelphia. So I'll say for the rest of the way, 2-1. I think we actually beat the Raptors. I think that one we come out with some energy and try to beat them for sure.
All right, on my prediction, I'm gonna stick with my prediction from the other day. I said I really felt like we were gonna beat the Cavs. Once again, that's a great matchup. I feel like even though Toronto keep whipping our butt, like they keep beating our butt, I think that we match up well with Toronto. Toronto just have that depth on their bench. I just can't believe that Joseph Corey or Corey Joseph is going to continue to just beat us every time. And he's always been the factor. So I'm going to say we're going to go 3-0. I think we're going to blow out the Sixers. I think we're going to blow out the Bucks. And I think we're going to win a close one against Toronto. I think the Sixers and Bucks are perfect for after this Cavs game. And I think we can be very, very smothering with our defense. I think there's a lot of things that we did so well, even against New Orleans. There's a lot of things we really did very, very well. And I think that 2-3 zone defense is going to give a few of these teams like real nightmares. I mean, the Spurs might not really, the Spurs will deal with it well. But I think these other teams will really kind of flake up under it a little bit. So, Mike, you want to close this out?
We just got somebody on the line who just came on.
Oh, okay.
Who just came on? I guess that was nobody. No, someone's on. I don't know if they can hear me or not. Yeah, you want to close it out?
Can I bring something up real quick?
Yeah, go ahead, James.
The Bucks and the Raptors game, do you guys realize that is a back-to-back?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Okay, because I was just kind of looking and I was like, I don't know if we don't do real well on back-to-backs, but I'm going to stick with my prediction, and I still think we're going to go 3-0.
I think we drop.
Yeah,
I think we drop one of those games. I think we do drop one to the.
I'm gonna change.
Or Philadelphia.
I'm gonna go.
Go ahead.
I'm gonna go 2-1. I ain't know it was a bet. I think Toronto. It'll be a hard, tough. It'll be close, but I think Toronto will pull it off.
Oh, ye of little faith.
Anybody else that want to make some last minute? Anybody else that want to make some last minute changes?
Like he said, man, I'm back to back. It's been hard for us lately. Back to back.
Yeah, we got.
They were hard for us. Did you not see what we just did to the Cavs?
Yeah.
So
hopefully.
So what you're saying? So what you're saying, Elder, is that we'll lose the first end of the back-to-back, but we'll win the second end.
No, I said 3-0. I said 3-0. I think that we have that. I think against. I don't want to prolong this, but I think against New Orleans we played a great game. I just think Anthony Davis did a once in a lifetime type game. It's not like Anthony Davis gonna come back and do that game again tomorrow. That was a once in a lifetime type game. It was amazing. And then I think we came back with the same strategy against the Cavs. It smothered the Cavs. Nobody went crazy. Kyrie Irving had 30, and we still won that game comfortably. And then we're gonna blow out the Sixers. We're gonna blow out the Bucks, and then I think it's gonna be a close game against Toronto. I don't even know Toronto's schedule. But if we could be Toronto's fourth game in the third night too, so they might be tired. So
let me look that up real quick.
Honestly, I do think I'm gonna say it again. I think we're gonna drop one to. You know what? I think we're gonna drop one to Milwaukee. I think Greg Monroe.
I wonder why. You think we're.
I'm not. I'm just saying. I think Greg Monroe is gonna have a big game. And
I wonder why, Mike.
Maybe Jabari Parker.
Mike?
I don't know. Maybe Jabari Parker has a good game. I don't know. Who else? I don't know who else is on that team. Who else is on that team? Jabari Parker. Oh, the Greek Freak. Yeah, they're gonna have a good game.
What? Hold on, y'all. What? Mike thinks that Greg Monroe will have a great game. What?
I know that's rare. I know it's rare for me to say that, but I think he might have a good game.
Hey fellas, I got a hell of a prediction for by the end of next week.
Go ahead. What's your prediction? Hey, can you speak a little louder too?
Yeah, my prediction is that we'll be in another 7 spot by Friday, next Friday.
Oh shit.
That's what I think, honestly.
That's a pretty bold prediction. I'll tell you that.
What he said, I couldn't hear. I'm sorry.
He said by the end of next week we'll be in the 7th seed.
Wow. Well, did the Heat win or did the Pacers win? There was close games.
Heat won. Heat won in overtime.
Oh, okay.
The Raptors' upcoming schedule, they got the Timberwolves at home, then they got the Cavs, and then they got us.
Are any of those back-to-back?
They might lose.
No,
they're not back-to-back. They every other game.
They might
3 games in 5 nights.
They'll be ready for us.
I feel comfortable.
What is it about the Raptors? The Raptors, I think it's just Toronto in general. I think Toronto sees us as a rivalry because we're so close to them, and they're not really close to any other U.S. city. So I think Detroit's the closest U.S. city if my geography is right, I think Detroit is the closest U.S. city to Toronto that has a professional basketball team or any professional sports team. I think they see us as a rivalry because those fans, man, they come, dude. They come all the way from Toronto to the Palace, fill it up with their little "We Are the North" signs and all that good stuff. So I don't know what it is about Toronto, but they have our number, man. They really do.
They had our number.
I think they still do, man. I think they still.
Oh, ye of little faith.
I think they still think that they can come in here and beat us anytime they want. I think that's what they feel like.
Hey, Mike.
Yeah, what's up, man?
I gotta get ready to roll.
Good.
Gentlemen, it was great. Mike is going to flip a little link for you guys so y'all can all subscribe to the little page we have jumping, and hopefully be something we can do more often, like post-game. I think the post-game is really cool, so I would love to hear from you gentlemen again the next time we do it.
Elder,
I hope to listen to you guys Wednesday.
Elder,
I'm down. Wednesday.
Elder, send me these guys' names because I don't know most of these guys on the forum, so you're gonna have to send me.
Hey fellas, on the link that I did, I know some of you guys already jumped on there, but just go ahead and just tag your name up on that link, and I'll have Mike tagged on there so he can get all you guys info.
All
right, cool.
All right, guys, we really appreciate you coming on, and we'll see you next time, and we'll make sure we get you guys information on the podcast.